I've been where you are, and I'm not saying my advice is perfect, but this is just one thing that came to mind, and it might help you. There are probably voices in your head, or a voice in your head screaming at you, saying that you're not enough, that you'll never be enough, that you're not worthy of love, that you're not worthy of joy, that you're not worthy of relishing in and experiencing what it means to be alive, that the world will be better off without you. What's the point? Everything feels so hollow, so empty, so pointless. Those voices are screaming at you, trying to convince you that what they're saying is true. And honestly, what got me through it many, many times is entertaining the fact that maybe they're not true. Maybe those voices, that voice, is not right. You see, when you're in that state, it feels so heavy and, I don't know if icky is the right word, but heavy. You feel gross, you feel like there's no way out. Like you're a black hole disappearing into yourself and sucking the whole world in with you. You have so much negative self-talk, and you could laugh and say, no, I don't. It's just my humor. It's just my humor, or it's just this, or no, I'm actually quite positive. But chances are, if you're in that state, you're not speaking very nicely to yourself. And I'm not criticizing you for that. Don't focus your attention on trying to turn the volume down of those voices. Instead, hone into that whisper that says maybe that shit is not true. You don't even have to fully believe it, but maybe. And hold onto that with everything that you have, because I swear to you, being on the other side, I can tell you, hand on heart, that it's not true. It's not true. Those voices scream because they're trying so hard to convince you. That's the only reason why. You don't have to listen. The power is in your hands. Your natural state, our natural state as human beings, is to feel abundance, joy, fulfillment in being ourselves and existing. So those voices, that voice, whatever it is for you, that tells you you'd be better off not here, that can't be coming from you. It's a thought, just as I could think my room could do with better lighting. But it's not you. It's not a representation of the real you. The real you is that whisper that deserves to thrive. That's your intuition. That's you. See, things like fear. I'm not saying fear isn't real. I'm not saying fear doesn't exist. But fear will scream. Fear will scream because it wants you to bend to its ways. Similarly, suicidal thoughts and feelings. That's also why they scream. Intuition doesn't need to scream. It's not trying so hard. Intuition is still, it's calm, and it's you, underneath the chaos, underneath the mess. You're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. Not at all. You're just a human being that is hurting. It doesn't need to be perfect. How you choose to pick yourself up, or even just how you choose to carry on. But focus in on that maybe. Entertain that maybe. Maybe it's not true. Maybe everyone doesn't hate you, even if it feels like it. maybe you're not a waste of space, even if you've been told that by everybody in your household. Maybe you're not stupid and incompetent and good for nothing like your teachers said, continue to say. Maybe, just for once, could you consider that your life can be bigger and better than this current moment that pains you so much? I don't have the perfect answer for everybody. I'm aware of that. But I hope this can inspire at least one person to bet on themselves, to bet on that life. Or maybe if they don't have a perfect image in their head, just bet on another day. Bet on another day. Another day is another chance. Bet on better for yourself. Bet on happiness for yourself, even if it's been a long, long time since you felt it. I've said this in my previous videos regarding this topic, but if you're feeling this low, imagine this is neutral, right? And you're here, negative 100, let's say, or negative 99. You cannot, if you're aware of neutral, right? How do I put this? You're in a state where you feel such lack. You feel a void, okay? What does that mean effectively? It means that there is space to be filled, right? You get a cavity, okay? And that cavity eats away at your tooth or whatever. There is a space there now where a filling could be put in. Probably not the best example, but the feeling of extreme lack is a signal. It's a signal that you have a deep desire which is unfulfilled. It's potential. Your potential is in the gap between this negative 99 and 0. That's your journey. That's where you gotta go. Tell me this. These voices that speak to you, or that voice, what are they saying? That you're never gonna be enough. That everything feels empty, pointless, you don't know where to start. Well, maybe those are actually questions. Questions you're meant to answer. And you might scoff and think, what are you talking about? I'm not a psychologist who gives a shit, I don't care. What am I gonna do, read a book? I don't have the energy to even get up and brush my teeth. That's okay, you don't have to. You don't have to. But maybe all you need to do is look yourself in the mirror if you're just lying on your phone. Open the front camera. Look at yourself and say, I am enough as I am. And don't believe it. Don't believe it. That's step one. Maybe that's all you need to do. Get from negative 99 to 0, what we can call neutral. That's the first step. The rest can come. That'll come once you figure this out. How can I describe it? It's like, I always come back to workout examples. It's like when someone starts going to the gym, right? And they want to develop a better, healthy lifestyle, right? Let's say that their end goal is that they want to compete. Well, they're starting from a place of 0 knowledge, okay? Now let's say, or even not just compete, but like create a dream physique. We know, all of us, we know that there are particular habits, aka systems, that will get them not just from negative 99, where they don't know a damn thing, to 0, where they've built the lifestyle. But we know that growth is going to be exponential after that. They're going to go from 0, let's just say, to 100. But one day they're on that stage and they're competing. But that competition level of where their physique is at, of what their habits are like, maybe not, let's say competition, because that's not, people usually do short-term things for that, but let's say they've got their dream physique, right? Their dream physique that they want to maintain. Their dream physique that they want to maintain didn't come from what they did from 0 to 100. They might have made tiny tweakments here and there. The real value, the nitty-gritty came from what they did between -99 and 0. The habits and the systems, the ways of thinking. I don't just mean like how they get up and they drink apple cider vinegar. I mean, I don't know what they really do, but they work out this many times a week. I'm not saying that this is what you need to do. This is just an example. But I mean the way that you think, the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you choose to see the day, condition yourself to see the day. The real skills, the real nitty-gritty work is done between -99 and 0. That is your desire unfulfilled. It's a beautiful thing. Look at it like it's a garden. This is your mental garden work. Take the time to pull out the weeds. Heck, don't worry about that right now. How about we just draft, what flowers would you like? Some roses. Or maybe they're too high maintenance. I don't know shit about gardening. Lavender. Or maybe you'd like to go more for some produce. An apple tree. I grew some tomatoes a couple years ago. That was pretty fun. Inspire yourself. This, the -99 to 0, is the space that needs nurturing. Your nurturing. This is not your natural state. And that's okay. All it is, all these voices are, is an alarm. It's a signal to you, begging you to pay attention to something. It's pain. It's pain in your mind. Understand that. You injure yourself physically, right? You feel pain. It's a warning. It's a sign. Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. And so what do? You disinfect it. You put a plaster or whatever. You take care of it. You tend to it. Alternatively, you wear a cast, or you get the appropriate surgery or the appropriate medicine. You tend to it. You see, these thoughts are a symptom of something. They're not you. Because you are not a symptom. You are not a symptom. You are part of source. You are not a symptom. So that cannot possibly be you. Realize your own strength simmering underneath the surface of what these things say. That whisper, that thing that's still inspiring you to stay and watch this video, that's a signal that you have hope within you. Give yourself a little more credit. You've made it this far. If I were there in person, I would pick you up myself. But don't let that stop you. You are enough, and you are all you need to get yourself out of this. There is hope within you. There is light within you. And I've had this recent realization. People, they talk about the light at the end of the tunnel and all of that. The light isn't at the end of the tunnel. At least personally, off of what I feel. You are the light. The light is within you. You carry it within you. It's not at the end of the tunnel. You're the light. And I think that's damn exciting and worthy of being celebrated, if you ask me. Give yourself an opportunity to rediscover that. Tune into that maybe thought, that maybe those thoughts aren't true. They're not a real representation of me. They're not instructions. I don't have to listen. Even if they're screaming at me, I don't have to listen. Me, my soul self, is the final authority. And my soul self may feel weak because they don't do anything more than whisper. But sometimes the voice that whispers is the strongest and the loudest in the room. That's it. Feel free to leave comments down below. And remember, wherever you are, however lonely you feel, you're not alone.